Long ago, King Nebuchadnezzar ruled the vast, mighty empire of Babylon. He conquered countless lands and turned his shining capital into the most famous city on earth. One night, the king woke shaken from a strange, troubling dream he could not understand. He summoned all his wise men, magicians and scholars to court, but none could interpret the dream's hidden meaning. Only Daniel, a faithful servant of God, was brought before the king. After Daniel prayed, God revealed the mystery, and Daniel said God rules over all kingdoms. The king was amazed and acknowledged God's greatness. Some time later, the king built a massive golden statue and commanded every person across his entire kingdom to bow down and worship it. But 3 faithful servants of God, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, refused to bow to a false idol. The furious king ordered them bound and thrown into a blazing hot furnace. The fire was so hot it instantly killed the soldiers who carried them to the flames. When the king leaned forward to look into the roaring furnace, he was utterly astonished. He saw 4 men walking unharmed in the fire, and the 4th looked like a divine heavenly messenger. This stunning miracle proved God's power is greater than any earthly king, and his faithfulness endures forever. The king ordered the 3 men out of the roaring, white-hot furnace. The entire royal court fell dead silent, every pair of eyes fixed on the fiery opening. No one dared to breathe as they waited for what would come next. One by one, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stepped out into the open. The crowd leaned in, gasping in utter disbelief. Not a single burn marked their skin. Their clothes were completely untouched, not even singed by the flames. There was not even the faintest smell of fire clinging to them. The king was the first to recover his voice, and he immediately praised the God of the 3 men before every person gathered. He stood before the court and declared boldly, "There is no other God in all the world who can save like the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego." No one present would ever forget this miracle they had just witnessed. Many years passed after this great miracle, and the same king was given another strange, puzzling dream from heaven. In his dream, a massive tree grew tall across the land, giving shelter and food to every living thing on earth. Suddenly, a bright heavenly messenger stepped down and ordered the great tree cut down to only its bare stump. A solemn prophet stands before the throne of the mighty Babylonian king, his voice ringing clear as he delivers a stark message from God. "O king, the tree represents you. Your pride has grown far too great." The king lifts one dark eyebrow, snorts in open disdain at the unsettling warning. He waves the prophet roughly out of his court, dismissing the entire message as foolish, delusional nonsense. In the months that follow, he throws himself into expanding his empire, conquering sprawling new lands, building ever grander palaces and towering temples across his vast realm. He never once questions his own absolute, unchallenged power, or thinks back to the prophet's strange, unsettling warning. One evening, he walks slowly along the polished marble roof of his main palace, his eyes sweeping over the entire capital stretching out below him. He rests his calloused hand on the cool, intricately carved railing, scanning the golden rooftops and bustling markets that stretch all the way to the hazy horizon. He smirks with deep satisfaction and speaks aloud to the empty air. "Is this not the great Babylon that I have built by my mighty power and for the glory of my—" Nebuchadnezzar, mighty king of Babylon, stood high on his palace balcony. He spread his arms wide, boasting of the vast, glorious empire he had built with his own mighty hand. Before the last echo of his boast faded from the air, God's judgment fell suddenly and swiftly upon him. Instantly, his sanity slipped away completely. He was stripped of all power and forcefully driven away from all human contact. For 7 long, endless years, he wandered the open, windswept hills outside the city gates, living exactly like a wild beast. He tore raw grass straight from the dirt to fill his empty stomach, and slept on cold, bare ground under the unforgiving open sky. Day after day, he wore no royal crown, sat on no golden throne, and not a single soul was left to obey his every command. By the end of those 7 years of constant, grinding, humbling, the proud king had finally learned an unshakable truth that would stay with him forever. No mortal king rules by his own power alone. God alone is the sovereign ruler over all the kingdoms of the whole world. After 7 endless years of divine punishment, Nebuchadnezzar at last lifted his worn eyes toward heaven. For all those years, he had wandered open fields, eating grass like a wild outcast, cut off from his royal throne. The weight of 7 years of hardship had humbled his once proud, arrogant heart. On the very final day of his sentence, his heart turned, and he acknowledged the eternal rule of the Most High God. He opened his cracked, weathered mouth and declared aloud, "The Most High God is the ruler over all the kingdoms of the earth." The moment those words left his mouth, God moved to begin his work of perfect restoration. The thick fog that had clouded Nebuchadnezzar's broken mind melted away instantly, and his full, sharp sanity returned. His royal dignity washed over him again, and all the authority of his kingdom was fully handed back to him. There, on the polished palace steps, Nebuchadnezzar knelt low, humbled before the Almighty. He publicly gave all glory to the Most High God for his unending, boundless mercy. 7 long years of God's judgment had transformed King Nebuchadnezzar completely. Gone was the proud, powerful ruler who once reigned over a mighty kingdom from his opulent gilded palace. He now wandered alone, far from every comfort he once knew. He wandered the open, wind-scoured wilderness, ate raw grass like a wild ox, and slept on damp, frost-kissed cold ground each night. All the luxuries of his palace were just a distant, faded memory. For 7 full years, this had been his only harsh existence, no company but the wind and wild beasts. On the final day of the 7th year, he finally stopped staring blankly at the dirt beneath his feet. He lifted his sun-cracked, weathered face toward the open heaven. He watched soft clouds drift across the bright blue sky, and understanding broke through his hardened heart at last. Every bit of human power, every store of wealth, every kingdom on earth is a gift from God alone. The old pride that once made him boast of his own greatness shattered into nothing. He bowed his head to dirt, knelt low before Almighty, and with rough voice and humble heart, praised Most High God. King Nebuchadnezzar stands on the sun-warmed marble battlements of his great city Babylon, the wind tangling his worn royal robes. For the first time in 7 long years, his mind is completely clear and sharp. 7 years earlier, this mighty king had walked in blinding pride. He claimed all glory for his vast, prosperous kingdom, refusing to bow to any higher power. To humble him, God took his sanity, drove him from his palace to live with wild cattle, where he ate grass like a beast, alone and broken. When Nebuchadnezzar finally turned his humbled heart and eyes to heaven, God showed him great mercy. Standing here now, he declares his confession. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and exalt and honor the King of heaven, because everything he does is right, and all his ways are just. And those who walk in pride he is able to humble. After this honest confession, God fully restores all that was lost. The once proud king carried this lasting truth with him for the rest of his reign. True glory belongs to God alone, and all people must walk humbly before the one true high.